I recently asked a bride group, I was like, hey, like, what's one thing that you wish somebody told you before you started wedding planning? And I was surprised, honestly, at how negative they were on it. But most people said, like, they didn't expect it to be as stressful as it was.
Yeah.
And so I feel like that's a huge, huge advantage of eloping is just,
it's done.
Yeah. And it's not even so much about, like, let's get it over with because we don't want to get married. Because, like you said, it's not about that. It's about you and your partner and, like, it being just about you guys and your love for each other rather than a whole production.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Caitlyn.
And I'm Kalee. And this is Shoot the Vows.
And today we have Dani T, photography. And she's going to be talking about elopements. We're going to be talking about the difference between elopements and full weddings and what you can kind of expect. I think at every point in a bride's journey, they look at their significant other and they say, why don't we just elope?
Yeah.
I did. So tell me a little bit about yourself and what you've done as far as photos for the past 15 years, you said?
Yeah. I've done a lot. Gosh, there's a lot to list. I started in high school, and then kind of branched out into college. I was convinced I was going to be a teacher, and that didn't happen. I just never went back for like my master's and stuff. And I shot my first wedding for free under a friend that was getting married from college, and then moved back home and just kind of like started snowballing it into that. And then probably within the last 2-3 years, I've really kind of dove more into documentary style elopements and smaller weddings. Big ones are still sprinkled in here and there because I still do really love them. But I really love elopements and smaller weddings a lot more. I just think there's a lot more like, I don't think weddings should be a performance. They should be more about you and your partner and things like that. And I think big weddings can sometimes escalate really quickly into making it a performance and you forget why you're there like at the end of the day. And I don't know, they just kind of resonated. My husband and I eloped, so it kind of just resonated a little bit more when I started shooting them.
I love that. Like that. So that's why you really focus on that now is you just feel really passionate about them and you enjoy them.
I really think a wedding day shouldn't be about everybody else that's there. Yes, they're all important and things, but at the end of the day, it's about you and your partner coming together and what you want that to look like, not about everybody else and all the noise that comes with sometimes planning a really, really big wedding.
Yeah, it shouldn't be about everybody else's opinions and their want and needs. At the end of the day, it's the couple's big day.
Yeah.
And what they decide to go with ultimately should be the final say. Like,
yeah. And even big weddings I shoot now, a lot of my couples really resonate with that. And they're very much like, whatever you say goes, Dani. Our family knows that, like, you're not going to deal with the bullshit. Oh, can I swear on this?
Yeah,
Sorry.
you're okay. You're okay.
They're very much like, we want this to be about us and the family's here and that's fine, but they're not a number one priority like we are and how we want to run things. But it took a long time to get there. It took a long time for like people to resonate with that.
Yeah, but I love that so much.
Yeah. I know. I looked at my husband at one point and I was like, why don't we just go somewhere? But I feel like you don't realize it until you're halfway into planning. You don't think about how much goes into planning a wedding and the cost and the stress.
Yeah.
I recently asked a bride group, I was like, hey, like, what's one thing that you wish somebody told you before you started wedding planning? And I was surprised, honestly, at how negative they were on it. But most people said, like, they didn't expect it to be as stressful as it was.
Yeah.
And so I feel like that's a huge, huge advantage of eloping is just,
it's done.
Yeah. And it's not even so much about like, let's get it over with because we don't want to get married. Because like you said, it's not about that. It's about you and your partner and like it being just about you guys and your love for each other rather than a whole production.
Yeah.
But I think nowadays the cost is why people elope. And when you look at the cost of these weddings, I don't have $30,000 to spend on a wedding. I don't know about you, but
and that's on the low end,
that's
which
what
is
I'm
wild.
about.
Like that's the low end of
with today's
things.
economy, I definitely think that the cost of weddings is why a lot of people opt for elopements.
Yeah. I mean, that's what we did. We got halfway through planning and I just looked at my husband and I said, so our 9-year wedding anniversary is on Tuesday. you want to just go do the thing? And he's like, yeah, let's go do the thing.
Yeah. Where did you go to like a courthouse or did you go?
No, we got married up in the Adirondacks.
Okay.
But we had eloped, and then a year later we had our bigger wedding and stuff like that. So
yeah, because a lot of people do it that way too. They'll have like a reception later on.
Yep.
And
we just did a wedding like that, actually. They had
really
already
fun.
been married for like a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had been married for a year, and they were like, I think when she told us the story, she said, we were planning it, and we were like, we just want to do it. Like,
yeah. A lot of people just don't want to wait. They just don't want to wait. They're just ready to go and like do it. And I think a misconception with a lot of elopements is that it's just like a quick in, you're out kind of a thing. But it really can be an all-day experience, which is what like I pride myself on with a lot of my couples. There's so much you can do for it besides just like your vows, your rings, we're done.
Yeah,
like,
I love that.
Tell me a little bit about like the timeline of an elopement, because it's obviously way different than a wedding day. So like, what are you doing from like the morning? Let's say for a couple, what are they doing from the morning to the evening throughout the day for an elopement?
It just depends on what they want to do. It depends on what they want their day to look like, their experience to look like, if they plan on like going and doing anything for the day. I mean, I've had couples book me for like an 8-hour elopement. I've had couples book me for 2-hour elopements. It just depends on where we're going, what we're doing. If we're hiking, I've had a couple weeks ago, they eloped on a sailboat. So you have to take the sailboat ride into account. You've got to take into account if you're going to be hiking, how long the hikes are, stuff like that. And then what time of day they want to start. Like some couples they don't want to wait around all day. They want to just do everything in the morning and then do what else they want for the rest of the day. I've done it where we get up, at the crack of dawn and do everything up top of the mountain and then take a break. And then we come back later to do more pictures at another time or at another location. So it really is up to them and how far they want to go, what activities they want to do, what area they're in, and all that kind of stuff versus a big wedding that's much more structured. There's a lot of flexibility with elopements, which I think couples enjoy, and they have to recognize that they're going to have flexibility with it because you also have to take into account of a lot more factors like the weather and like permits and stuff like that, which bigger weddings you typically don't. We're not handling that. Planners and coordinators are handling that.
Yeah, that makes sense because there's a lot of as far as like drones too, and like people don't consider like the legality of like flying drones and things like that. So that's all things to consider. So are you typically handling a lot of like the permits and stuff, or is that the couple's responsibility?
I'll guide them to the permits, but the permits it's on them. Like because some state parks in New York you need permits, national parks you need permits. Other places you don't need permits. Like some places in the Adirondacks, you need permits just to hike the trails. Other ones you don't. I just let them know that some of these places it's required and other ones it's not. After a while, you just kind of figure out which ones are probably better suited for what couples and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But they have to handle all the permits.
Do you typically find for your hiking elopements, and this is out of my own curiosity, that brides are just like wearing their wedding dress with like some hiking boots, or do they usually change at the top?
They change at the top.
Yeah, I was about to say, I wouldn't want to hike up in a big
can.
old,
I mean, I've had it. I've had girls do it, but
I mean, sure, it would be cute pictures
for shorter hikes
like,
and stuff. But longer ones, they're normally just changing at the top. Yeah,
yeah, that makes sense. And then you also need 2 people for it to be legal, right? You need 2 witnesses.
Not anymore.
Really?
Not anymore. Nope. You can have 1 in New York State.
Are you ordained?
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes it's just you and the couple.
Yeah, but I can't be a witness if I'm doing the.
Oh, okay. So there has to be 2
There has
people.
to be one other person to be a witness. I can't be the witness. I can if I'm doing the ceremony, but if I'm not doing the ceremony, then I can be the witness.
So if you're just taking the pictures, then you can be considered the witness.
Yep.
But if you're doing the whole getting married part, the ordaining,
they
then
have
you
to have
can't.
somebody else.
Okay,
and if they don't want to bring somebody else, then I mean, we've found people in like a parking lot before and just like ask them to do it, or like somebody else that's like wherever we are and have them sign it. Like,
yeah, that must have been such an honor for that person.
It's pretty cool. I mean, it's pretty cool. My husband's also ordained now, so I'm slowly convincing him to kind of like
really dragging him along.
Come on.
Good for you. My husband would never.
So it sounds like elopements are more for the couples who are, woohoo, let's go. And the weddings are more for the structure and the organized couples.
It depends. I mean, I've had both.
Budgets.
I've had both.
Okay.
It depends. I mean, some people do it because they don't like being around a ton of crowds. They don't want to it's
the
anxiety of it, or they just don't like being like the center of attention for stuff. So they want that. Other people just want it to be like solely just for them. Other people just, they know that they have a bigger budget to spend in regards to like full on experiences versus just spending it on like food and cocktails for some of their friends.
Right.
So it just depends. I think there's both sides of it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, as far as the planning aspect, what is the most overlooked thing you think in elopements? Like, what's something that brides don't really consider when they're thinking of eloping?
Oh God.
Other than permits, which would probably be the
permits
furthest
is a big
thing.
one.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's times of year and location for that time of year. Like fall in the Finger Lakes is pure insanity. It's some of like the waterfalls and stuff. So you have to make sure that your couple understands this may not be as private as you're thinking it's going to be because of the time of year, or certain trails are closed after like Columbus Day. So like, yeah, the weather's still great, but you can't get on those trails anymore to get down to those waterfalls or those peaks. Kind of like that, kind of like weather and logistics. And then sometimes you don't have cell reception, so you've got to figure out like all the pins and things like that before. Like, but for the most part, people are pretty chill. They know what they want. They kind of know where they want to go, and we just kind of like direct them into the right spots to go.
Yeah, so it's probably really important to hire someone that is familiar, at least with the legality in that area, and like has done some elopements before.
Yeah. And even if you're traveling, I mean, when I travel for elopements, I'm getting there a day. If it's a spot I've never been to, I'm getting there a day, sometimes 2 days beforehand, because you've got to know where you're driving. You've got to know like what it's going to look like during certain times of day. You've got to figure out, okay, is it going to be crowded more in the morning versus in the afternoons? Like what spots are going to look better certain times of day? So whereas sometimes you show up on bigger wedding days and you've never been to that location, you don't have time to scout it. You're just rolling up and being like, all right.
You're scouting it as
this
you roll
looks
up.
Great.
Yeah. I think that once you've done certain types of venues before, it's like, okay, like you're prepared for like that type of, you know what I mean?
I'm sure elopements are very similar to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like a dark barn is a dark barn. Like if you worked in a dark barn,
they're pretty, they're pretty similar in that regard of things. Yeah. Just find that shade, baby. You'll be good to go.
Yeah. No, I definitely, the closest I think I've done to, and it wasn't an elopement, but the closest thing I've done to one was, it was a proposal at the top of a mountain.
Yeah.
And I loved it, but we got there really early because, we're hiking and we don't know how long the trail's going to take.
What mountain did you do?
We did it at Gertrude's Nose at Lake Minnewaska.
Oh, okay.
Minnewaska State Park.
Yep.
And
that's a beautiful state park.
Yeah, it's beautiful. That's Gertrude's Nose is this giant rock that like overlooks everything. It seems like you can see the other side of the world on it. It's so beautiful.
That one's like is that the one you had? It's almost like 6 miles when you go up or something.
Yeah. It was quite the hike. Yeah.
I've seen that one. I've never done that one.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And I typically shoot with flash. So we like carried
a light stand and the light.
We carried all the stuff up, me and my assistant. And the thing that was the most stressful, which you thankfully don't have this, but the couple actually arrived when we got there. They got there really early because they weren't supposed to get there until like...
Oh, they were there before you or at the same time?
They got there at the same time, but we were there half an hour early. So like they were like an hour early.
Yeah.
We were, so I saw him in the parking lot and I was like,
uh-oh.
I think that's them. So we were running.
I say, let me jog up this mountain real quick.
Let's go for a 6 mile jog.
We were like running up this mountain. But you get to hike with the couple. So that's probably more ideal. It's more of an ideal situation.
Instead of running up the mountain to make sure that they're not there before you.
Well, there's a couple other photographers that I've seen that they've hiked up like Indian Head or things like that and gotten there first, and then they just kind of like chill. And I'm like, I don't know if I would be able to time it right. I mean, I could probably do it, but my anxiety would be through the roof like the entire time.
Yeah, no, that's how it was. And then we would stop and take a break, And then they were there. And I'm like, these people are like expert hunters.
Slow down. Probably why they proposed on the hike, Caitlyn, because they're experts.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that was really stressful. It came out beautiful. It turned out beautiful. So we were there pretending to take photos. And then he was like, oh, take a picture of us. And it worked out great. But it was
cute. That's the trick every time with proposals. You're either like hiding in the bushes somewhere, or you're like, oh, let me pretend my friend is like doing things. And you're like, oh, do you want me to take this for you?
Yeah. No, those are like the two. Yeah, those are the two incognito. Yeah. No, I love that. So
how do you recommend couples choose the right elopement photographer for them? Because I mean, I guarantee you it's very different than searching for, I'm similar for searching for your wedding photographer, but it's really got to be someone you jive with and someone that has same interests and hobbies as you in order to go and hike up a mountain to do that.
I mean, it's not that different. I mean, I'm rolling on vibes half the time anyways with a lot of people. So it's just similar to that. I mean, and it depends on the area, but I mean, I've been hired for places I've never worked before. And like I said, I just go in beforehand and you kind of just all figure it out together. But it's very similar to finding somebody for a bigger wedding, just somebody that you get along with really well. Like you said, shares hobbies and interests, things like that. And then kind of somebody that just wants to share the experience with you, which is pretty similar to bigger weddings too. Yeah,
I know, like for us, like our like biggest thing that like when we're trying to like talk to a bride is look at people's full galleries. Is that something that's like a really big deal for like that side of things too?
Yeah, I mean, they're not that different than bigger weddings. I mean, I think it's just more experience based versus like party based kind of a thing. Gotcha. But yeah, most people are just, they see it like a half gallery or a full one and they're like, okay, this is cool. Like, but like, yeah, they're not,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like with elopements, like I feel like my photographer would be like really important to me.
Yeah, I mean, you're the only vendor there.
Right.
You're the only one there. So you really have to make sure you get along really well and you both are on the same page of what like you want the day to look like and things like that. I'm still good friends with a lot of my elopement couples. Just because I was really, besides hair and makeup, if they choose to get hair and makeup done, but a lot of my couples will do their own hair and makeup or their own flowers and stuff like that, if they have flowers at all. But I mean, it really can be very similar to a full-blown wedding day, just with smaller. 2 people versus 100.
Yeah, smaller scale.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. So in closing, you'd say for knowing if an elopement is for you or if a wedding is for you, it's probably depending on like what factors would you think? If you were, like you said in your experience, like you were actually planning your wedding and you were like, actually, this isn't for me. I want to just elope. So how do you think couples can really decide if it's for them or not?
I think they just have to really look deep down and figure out if that's what they want to do. Like, because I won't lie, there are sometimes ramifications when you elope. People are going to be mad. People are going to be disappointed that they weren't there. So you really have to know, like, this is what I want to do. I want to, like, really budget for these experiences and go through this. I really want it, like, just for us. And people do bring their parents to elopements or their siblings or, like, one of their best friends and something to, like, share it with them. It's just something I think they really have to know if that's what they want for them. And some people really want the party, and that's cool because I love me a big wedding with a really good party. I do. I think it's less stressful than elopement sometimes because we're not planning it. And some people really want that, and other people are like, nope, we really wanted to do this, and then take the rest of that money and put it towards something else, which is okay too. So it's just more of a personal choice when it comes down to things.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome.
And what's our next episode going to be about?
Our next episode is actually going to be about timeline planning tips and tricks. So if you're planning your wedding and you're planning your timeline, that one's going to be for you. And as always, if you have any comments, questions, or you want to hear any specific topics, just add it into the comments below. Thank you so much, Dani, for joining us.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining.
It was awesome having you on.
Thank you. Yeah, anytime.
I love learning about the elopements and how it is different than the big weddings.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Subscribe.